All right, ladies and gentlemen, today's video is a bit of a serious one. A competitor at the Arnold Classic passed away tragically, and I want to discuss it a little bit, but I want to be very clear. I'm going to be as respectful to this person and their family. This isn't me just trying to grab some sort of content to throw out there. I think there is a bigger discussion here. There's no sponsor today or anything like that. I just want to talk about this. So there's this article here. Bodybuilder dies at 20 after heart attack caused by severe dehydration, family says. Bodybuilder Jody Vance died last week after her heart gave out, according to a statement from her family and loved ones. She was 20 years old. Vance, who was also a coach, was in Ohio attending the Arnold Sports Festival. When she died, per the outlet, she began to feel sick. While she was there, she was taken to a local hospital and her heart stopped due to complications of severe dehydration. Here's another reason why I wanted to make this video. It's this line right here. Vance's loved ones encouraged others hearing about her death to prioritize their health. So I simply want to convey this message to as many people as possible. But again, I would like to discuss something much deeper. She was taking 2 extremely hazardous substances to improve her physique at the time of her death without his knowledge or her family's. Recently, her health had become quite concerning, and now we know why. Now we have the answers, said Mihaly in a video posted on Instagram. The article ends here saying, one of our favorite memories is watching the passion and love Jody poured into others. The post read, Jody's contagious energy and love was something we can all cherish and remember. So this isn't the first, and it likely won't be the last death from competitive bodybuilding. It's also not the first or the last time this will be due to the overuse of performance-enhancing drugs. Bodybuilding as a sport, it's like a known thing that it's unhealthy, that it's not good for you, and yet it still kind of exists in the mainstream, meaning more connected to social media and how that trickles down, which I will get into. But it still exists, and the taking of drugs and you know, people pushing it to the extremes is just going to continue to occur. I don't want to use like singular things like this to be like a scare tactic and to drive people away from doing bodybuilding style training. It's obvious that there is a very healthy way of doing this that can improve your longevity and health and fitness. But the main thing I want to discuss here is how social media now has like changed the way that the average human being consumes health and fitness, and how that is more geared towards the top, which would be bodybuilding. If you search on Google, the #1 job desired for Gen Z, the first thing it says is influencer, a top career aspiration for Gen Z, with over half of Gen Z surveyed expressing interest in becoming one, which is usually modeling or some sort of career in media and entertainment where you're in the spotlight on Instagram and all the other social media places. And being somebody who is in the health and fitness space, it is an incredibly powerful one right now. I am trying to make it as a musician, and it is much, much harder to crack into that space. And I think it's because everyone either knows they should or wants to or does participate in health and fitness, in training, weights, cardiovascular fitness, all of that stuff. Everyone feels like they can be a part of it. Whereas historically, music is something that musicians do, and it takes a little bit more vulnerability, and there's just less of that out there. And I'm not saying it's not oversaturated. It definitely is. But if we look at fitness and how it's developed over the course of like the social media age, I want to like bring a term to you guys. It's called the Overton window. The Overton window is the range of subjects, arguments politically acceptable to the mainstream and population at any given time. And, you know, as things change, the Overton window shifts of what is acceptable and unacceptable. And the main thing here is performance-enhancing drugs, hormones, peptides, all of these things that are seen that are more acceptable to talk about. And if you look at on the women's side, cosmetic stuff like cosmetic surgery, all of these things that if we went back like 10 years ago, maybe less, like they would not be as accepted as they are. So if we look at the Jesse James West video where he meets up with teenagers who are on steroids, of course it's an extreme when we look at them and we can point and be like, that's crazy. But it's happening at a much more scalable pace. It is happening everywhere. This proliferation of the use of testosterone and other hormones, it is noticeable, it is palpable, and we see it every day. So there are some tickets to being a fitness influencer. The biggest one is how attractive are you? If you're born attractive, you're going to have a better ticket. But the other one is how much can you change your body to optimize to try and be in big and jacked and low body fat percentage as possible. And there is no greater trick to make that happen than testosterone and other performance enhancing drugs. And because Gen Z, the most sought after thing for them is being an influencer, and one of the easiest places to get in or the biggest markets of an influencer is fitness, you now have one of the biggest cohorts of people willing to buy and sell performance enhancing drugs. You look at a guy like Alex Eubank, and I use him as an example, and everyone uses him as an example, but genetically, he's a really good looking guy and genetically looks awesome, with his shirt off. Like, he's a great fitness influencer. But it was only a matter of time before he started taking steroids. There are gyms that I go to now in Austin where guys the same age, younger, and women who the same age and younger are basically doing the same thing. They run into a point where like, hey, do you really want to make it as an influencer? Do you really want this thing that you say that you want? You love the gym. You want to be in this club. Like, this is what it takes. And when you do this, you're going to see like the benefits right away. So let me loop this back to this tragic passing of Jody Vance. It's not so much that I'm worried about the state of the bodybuilding industry. Even though that has its issues. And one of the things that Justin Mahaly says here, like, diuretics should never be taken, which might be a risky thing to say for him because like almost all of them are taking diuretics. But anyways, I digress. It's that the Overton window will continue to get more and more extreme. And we will see people take these steps towards more and more PED use when they don't need to, and it will absolutely affect their health and the health and fitness of other people. So what we see, like, in general, is a culture shift to more the voices of people who are on steroids have become. There's just more and more of those voices. And it's not just in the influencers themselves. It's just kind of everyday people who want to enhance their lives. They want to enhance their physique. And they take these drugs and they take them for years. And then our standard of what is healthy and what is fit is completely warped now. And this, I think, is a direct through line from bodybuilding all the way down to this massive cohort of Gen Z people. Like, there is one thing that I really love about Chris Bumstead. It's how much he talks about everything that isn't bodybuilding. And you can see it in a lot of like really considerate influencers. I mean, like, say what you want about Greg Doucette, but like, I had him on this channel a bunch of times, and it's like every time he's like he's advocating against this widespread use of testosterone. He says, "I've made these mistakes. Don't make them as well." Like Derek from More Plates, More Dates, like one of my oldest friends on YouTube. Like he's always said the same thing, and I just wish that those voices were louder. I just wish that there was a way to like grow this fitness culture that it doesn't feel the pressure and the need to go enhance. And mind you, I believe that people should be able to do what they want with their bodies. I totally do. But I think it is important that we understand this concept of the Overton window. And it is really sad to think about somebody who was competing in something at 20 years old. 20. I'm 34. That was 14 years ago. The amount of things that I accomplished in 14 years, the amount of things that I want to accomplish, the things I want to do, the person I want to be over the course of my life, to have that all vanish because you're so in your own mind about what is necessary. And it is so unbelievably warped. And I wish more people would see it. Look, that's all I have to say about this video. I don't mean to bring everyone down, but this is I feel very passionate about this. Like I just want to be a real honest person with you guys. I don't want to just yap over here all the time. So anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video.